how angels really interact with us. I was 19, stranded in the chaos of a foreign airport after missing the last flight home. My phone was dead. I was completely alone. Panic started to set in when a stranger with the kindest eyes I'd ever seen walked right up to me. She said something that would change my life, helped me in a way that felt almost impossible, and then, just as quickly as she appeared, she was gone. This wasn't just a coincidence, it was something more, and it points to a profound truth about the world we live in. A world filled with quiet miracles and unseen helpers. Have you ever had a moment like that? A moment so perfectly timed, so strangely helpful, it almost felt scripted? Something that left you with a sense of awe and one lingering question. Was that a coincidence? Or was that something else? The story about the 19-year-old at the airport is real, and it's one of countless stories from people all over the world who believe they've had a direct encounter with an angel. I'm not talking about the Renaissance painting kind with glowing halos and giant white wings. I'm talking about angels in human form, strangers who show up at the exact moment of crisis and then seem to vanish without a trace. Today, we're going to explore this incredible phenomenon. We'll listen to personal stories that seem to defy logical explanation. We'll journey through ancient texts to see if there's a historical blueprint for these kinds of interactions. We'll uncover the subtle signs they might be sending you every single day. And most importantly, we'll talk about how you can become more open and aware of their presence in your own life, because the evidence suggests these encounters aren't just for a chosen few. They're happening all around us. You just need to know how to look. The personal encounter, stories that defy logic. So let's go back to that airport. The story, shared by a woman looking back on her youth, is a perfect example of what so many people describe as an angelic encounter. At 19, she was stuck in an airport for 24 hours. She was broke, her phone was dead, and she had no way to contact anyone. She just sat down, completely overwhelmed and terrified, and prayed for help. A few minutes later, a young man sat down next to her. He just said she looked nervous and thought she could use some company. Think about that. In the anonymous blur of an international airport, a stranger not only sees her distress, but decides to do something about it. But here's where it gets even crazier. This young man didn't just say a kind word. He stayed with her for almost the entire 24 hours. He bought her dinner and then breakfast the next morning. When she promised to pay him back as soon as her friend arrived, he just smiled, unconcerned. He walked with her to the arrival gate, chatting like they were old friends. The moment she saw her friend and turned to make the introduction, he was gone. Not just lost in the crowd, vanished. She looked everywhere. But the man who had been her guardian for a full day had disappeared, as if into thin air. To this day, she says she can't even remember his name, despite spending a whole day together. It's the kind of story that gives you chills, right? And it has all the classic signs of these mysterious encounters. First, there's a moment of pure vulnerability and desperation. Second, a stranger appears and provides specific, practical help. Not just a nice thought, but food, safety, and companionship. And third, the part that blows your mind, the disappearance. The helper vanishes in a way that just doesn't make sense. And this is far from a one-off event. Take the story of a mother who, under crushing financial stress, found an envelope full of cash on her doorstep. She'd only been inside for a moment, and when she rushed back out, the street was totally empty. No car driving off, no one walking away. The young woman who delivered it was gone in less than 30 seconds. Or the soldier on a mountain expedition who froze in terror on a dangerous ledge after a teammate fell. His group was the only one registered on that remote part of the mountain. Out of nowhere, another climber appeared, tied a rope to his harness, lowered him to safety, and then disappeared back up the rock, never seen again. A pastor had a similar airport story. A stranger helped him with an impossible problem, and he took a selfie with the man to thank him. When he looked at the photo later, he was standing there with his arm around nothing. What links all these incredible stories? Their moments of impossible logistics and profound comfort. The help that arrives is always exactly what's needed. The angel is often described as having kind, peaceful eyes, and the person is left with an unshakable feeling that they were protected by something beyond our understanding. These aren't just stories of human kindness, though they are that too. They are stories that stretch the limits of our reality, hinting at a hidden layer of existence where help can arrive in the most miraculous ways. Is this just a modern phenomenon? The ancient blueprint for angelic interaction. It's easy to hear these stories and write them off as modern urban legends or just wishful thinking. But what if these encounters are part of a pattern that's thousands of years old? What if the idea of angels showing up in human form, talking and interacting with us, isn't some new age concept, but is actually woven into the fabric of our oldest spiritual traditions? If you look at ancient texts like the Bible, they're filled with accounts of angels appearing as ordinary people. In fact, there's a famous line in the book of Hebrews that directly says, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing, some people have entertained angels without knowing it." That's not a metaphor. It's a literal suggestion that heavenly beings can and do walk among us, totally unnoticed. Let's look at the ancient blueprint. In the book of Genesis, Abraham is chilling by his tent in the heat of the day when three men walk up. He doesn't see glowing beings of light, he sees travelers. He offers them water, food, and a place to rest. Basic hospitality. It's only as they talk that it becomes clear he's speaking with heavenly messengers, two angels and the Lord himself. They eat a meal with him, chat, and then head off to carry out their mission. The whole thing is strikingly normal, yet profoundly supernatural. And this wasn't a one-time thing. The two angels continue to the city of Sodom to rescue Abraham's nephew, Lot. Again, they appear as men and walk into the city. They give Lot and his family direct, urgent instructions, even physically grabbing them to pull them to safety before the city is destroyed. This is a direct, physical rescue, not so different from the soldier on the mountain or the 19-year-old at the airport. But the biblical accounts show us something else, and this is a crucial point. Angelic interaction isn't a one-way street. We tend to think of angels as just showing up and delivering a message, but the scriptures reveal a much more collaborative relationship, where humans often start the conversation. In the book of Daniel, the prophet is deeply troubled by visions. So what does he do? He goes up to an angel standing nearby and asks for an explanation. He speaks first. This kicks off a long, detailed conversation where the angel breaks it all down for him. The same thing happens with the prophet Zechariah, who has extensive back-and-forth conversations with an angel, asking questions to understand what he's being shown. This tells us something powerful. Communicating with the divine isn't just about passively waiting for a sign. It's about active engagement, curiosity, and even partnership. The roles of these angels are incredibly diverse. They aren't just gentle messengers, they're protectors, like the cherubim with the flaming sword at the gate of Eden. They're warriors, like the archangel Michael, who is described as a great prince fighting spiritual battles. They're guides, comforters, and agents of divine will. Sometimes their appearance is so powerful and terrifying that the first words out of their mouths are, "Do not be afraid." Other times, they just look like a friend who sits with you when you're alone. So when we hear modern stories of mysterious strangers, we're not hearing something new. We're hearing a continuation of an ancient story. The biblical blueprint shows us that angels can appear as humans. It shows they provide practical, life-saving help. It shows they deliver messages of comfort and guidance. And it shows our interaction can be a dynamic, two-way street. These ancient accounts give weight and credibility to the personal encounters people are still having today. suggesting we are part of a timeless dialogue between heaven and earth. The subtle language of angels, signs you might be missing. Okay, so a stranger vanishing into thin air is pretty dramatic. But for most of us, most of the time, angelic communication is way more subtle. It's a quiet language of signs, synchronicities, and feelings, a series of gentle nudges and whispers to let you know you're not alone and you're on the right track. The problem is, most of us are too busy, too distracted, or too skeptical to even notice. So, what are these signs? Let's talk about the subtle language of angels. One of the most famous signs is the white feather. People call it the angel's calling card. You find them in the most unlikely places, on a closed windowsill, inside your car, or right in your path on a day you were desperately hoping for a sign. Finding a feather, especially a pure white one, during a time of grief or confusion is often seen as a message of comfort. It's a small physical hello from heaven, a reminder that you're being watched over. One feather might be a coincidence, but when they keep showing up with meaningful timing, it gets harder to dismiss. But it's not just feathers. Angels often use words and images. Ever been wrestling with a problem, and you suddenly see the word angel on a truck, or walk past a shop with an angel statue right at that moment? Maybe you overhear a stranger's conversation and they say the exact phrase you needed to hear. These are synchronicities, meaningful coincidences so perfectly timed, they feel orchestrated. Another form of subtle communication is through physical sensations. Have you ever been in a room and felt a sudden chill, even though all the windows were shut? Or a sudden drop in temperature in one specific spot? On the flip side, some people report feeling an inexplicable warmth wrap around them, like a hug, when they're sad or scared. These temperature changes are often believed to signal an angelic presence. Other signs can be very personal, like a tingling or pressure at the crown of your head, which some believe is the energy of an angel's halo drawing near. A sudden, unexplained ringing in one ear can also be seen as an attempt to communicate, a download of information, or a simple check-in. People have even reported feeling a light touch on their hand, or someone stroking their hair during a tough moment, giving them a profound sense of comfort. But maybe the most powerful way angels communicate is through our own intuition and emotions. It's that sudden, overwhelming feeling of peace that washes over you in the middle of a crisis. One minute you're panicking, the next, a deep calm settles in, and you just know it's all going to be okay. That's a sign. It's also that gut feeling to take a different route home from work, only to find out later you dodged a massive accident. It's the brilliant idea that pops into your head out of nowhere, solving a problem you've been stuck on for weeks. Angels often speak through our inner knowing. They don't shout, they whisper to our intuition. Learning to trust that quiet inner voice is one of the biggest keys to recognizing their guidance. These signs, the feathers, the synchronicities, the sensations, the intuitive hits, are the everyday language of angels. They are constant, gentle reminders that you are loved and supported. The key is simply to be open to it, to walk through the world with a bit of wonder, paying attention to the small miracles unfolding all around you. How to open the lines of communication. The faith gym. We've talked about the dramatic stories and the subtle signs, but that leaves one big question. Can we do more than just wait around for a sign? Can we actively build a stronger connection with our angelic guides? The answer is a huge yes, but it takes intention and practice. Think of it like going to the gym. You don't get strong by just thinking about it. You have to put in the work. In the same way, strengthening your spiritual connection requires regular practice. Let's call it the faith gym, a set of spiritual exercises to open the lines of communication. First up in our faith gym, meditation. Our minds are a constant buzz of thoughts, worries, and to-do lists. That mental noise makes it almost impossible to hear the subtle whispers of an angel or feel their presence. Meditation is the practice of turning down the volume on all that chatter. Here's a simple way to start. Find a comfy seat, feet on the floor, palms up in a gesture of receiving. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Slow it down. With every inhale, imagine opening a channel to the divine. With every exhale, feel yourself grounding into the earth. Just sitting like this for 5 or 10 minutes a day can start to create the quiet space needed for connection. Prayer. Prayer isn't just for emergencies, it's for conversation. Instead of only asking for help when things go wrong, try inviting your angels into your daily life. Ask your guardian angel to walk with you on your way to work. Ask them for support during a tough meeting. Thank them at the end of the day. This shifts your relationship from one of crisis management to one of companionship. And remember, it's a two-way street. After you ask, be quiet and listen. Listen for a response, not as an audible voice, but as a thought, a feeling, or an insight that pops into your head. Your lifestyle plays a huge role too. Spending time in nature is a powerful way to clear your head and connect to a higher frequency. Try meditating under a tree or walking by the water. Some people also use tools to help focus their intention. The scent of orange essential oil is believed to help with connecting to guardian angels, or holding a crystal like lapis lazuli can support clear communication. These aren't magic tricks, but tools to help you focus your energy and intention. Finally, and maybe most importantly, is aligning your own behavior with angelic qualities. The more you act like an angel, the more you'll feel connected to them. Practice selfless kindness. Help someone without expecting anything back. Cultivate joy, seek out beauty, laugh more. When you embody love, generosity, and peace, you are literally tuning your own frequency to match theirs. You become a beacon for angelic connection. These practices, meditation, daily prayer, time in nature, and living with a kind heart, are the workouts in your faith gym. And just like any workout, consistency is everything. You might not have a dramatic vision overnight, but with steady practice, you'll start to notice a change. You'll feel more peace. You'll see more synchronicities. Your intuition will get stronger. You're not forcing an encounter. You're just becoming a better receiver for the guidance that's already there, waiting for you to tune in. The stories and signs we've talked about today are really just the beginning. The world is full of these quiet miracles. And that brings me to you. Everyone's experience is unique, and a huge part of strengthening our own belief is hearing from others. Have you ever had an encounter you just couldn't explain? A moment of help from a stranger who appeared out of nowhere? Have you found a white feather in a weird place, right when you needed it most? Have you felt that sudden, inexplicable wave of calm during a crisis? I would genuinely love to hear your story. So if you feel comfortable sharing it in the comments below, please do. You have no idea how much your experience could mean to someone else reading it. It might be the very sign they've been praying for. Reading these accounts helps us all remember that we're connected on this mysterious journey. And of course, if this resonated with you, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more explorations into the unseen world. Conclusion: we started with the story of a scared 19-year-old in an airport who was cared for by a kind stranger who simply vanished. This story, and so many others like it, points to a beautiful and reassuring truth. We are not alone. We've seen how these dramatic interventions aren't just modern myths, but are rooted in ancient traditions that describe angels walking among us as ordinary people. We've uncovered the subtle language they use every day, the feathers, the synchronicities, the intuitive whispers, to gently guide us. And we've explored how, through spiritual practice, we can open our hearts to become better receivers of this divine communication. The reality of angelic interaction is both bigger and simpler than we imagine. It's the miraculous rescue from danger, but it's also the quiet feeling of peace that stills an anxious heart. It is the stranger who saves your life, and it is the friend who says exactly the right thing at exactly the right time. The ultimate message behind every angelic encounter, big or small, is one of profound love and hope. It is the universe leaning in to whisper, "You are seen, you are cared for, you are guided." The world can feel chaotic and scary, but there is a hidden layer of grace, a network of unseen helpers working on our behalf. All we have to do is open our eyes, open our hearts, and learn to see. May you walk forward from this day, knowing that you are guided, protected, and never, ever truly alone.